Today we're going to be talking about recording data. And when we say recording, we mean as we are doing our research, how do we mark down the results that we've gotten? So data can be organized in a tally chart or a frequency table, and you'll see both here. A frequency table is a tally chart with an extra column. So if you were doing just a tally chart, you would not have this column here, you would just have these two. In a frequency table, you have this extra column here. To fill in the frequency column, Andrew counted the tallies for each bird. Okay, so as the birds went through, if you saw a blue jay, he would put this. If you saw a cardinal, he would put a line here. And every time there's 4, to do the 5th, you cross it out. And the reason that we do that is so that we don't have to go through and count every single line. We can jump count from 5 as we go up. So I know here, looking quickly, instead of having to count all the lines, that there's 17 there. So then he graphed the data. So this is a pictograph where you pick a picture to represent certain amounts. So he picked this picture of a bird to represent 2 birds at a time. So you can see a very quick and visual way to see which ones came more often. So if we are working with that to see what our data means, we are going to construct a bar graph of Andrew's data, and then we're going to compare the graph and the tally chart to see how they're alike. So first off, this is our bar graph. You can see that it looks very similar to our tally chart if we put it on its side, hint, hint. So first thing we did was construct our bar graph, bringing attention to the fact that it has a title, it has a subtitle on both of the axes, it's got a name for each of the bars, and our numbers go up by the same amount each time. Okay, so we have a scale that we're on. So 2, 4, 6, 8. It goes up by 2 every time. All right, so what do we notice? When we rotate the tally column clockwise, its shape matches the bar graph. Okay, so we can see that they're very similar in size in terms of how much space the data takes up. So that is our comparison. So what you're going to practice with this stuff, page 176, numbers 1 to 7. Now if I can quickly open up that textbook page. We will do number 1 together. Here we are, number 1. So the table shows the favorite Canadian hockey teams of some grade 7 students at Hamilton Junior High School. So we're going to write the frequency of each team. So the frequency is just a number of how many tallies you have. So for the Calgary Flames, we have 5 plus 3, so that's 8. Oilers, we have 5 plus 1, that gives us 6 here. The Montreal Canadiens, 5. The Ottawa Senators, 5. Toronto Maple Leafs, we have 10. And the Vancouver Canucks, we have 6. So we would put those numbers in here, and we can make a chart using Google Sheets, or we can use Google Docs, or we can do it with a piece of paper. Now we're asking how many students were surveyed. So how do we find that out? Well, we would add up the numbers in the frequency chart or the total number of tallies. So I have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40 in total. And then see which team is the most popular among the sample and which is the least popular. Give some possible reasons for these results. So the most popular is the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the least popular is a tie between Montreal Canadiens and the Ottawa Senators. So why do I think that the Toronto Maple Leafs could be the highest one? Well, Hamilton is very close to Toronto, so that makes sense that a lot of people are Toronto fans. And Toronto, their quote-unquote arch rivals are these two teams right here. the Canadiens and the Senators. So it makes sense that they would be the least likely to be chosen, and then the Toronto Maple Leafs would be the most likely. And I'm sure you can have reasons of your own as well as you go along. So you're going to do the rest of these questions, trying to draw some conclusions based on the data and exploring different ways that we get this information. If you have any questions, jump onto the Google Meet to the